I don't even know what the hell is going on in Cleveland. I don't. But this is not a good sign for Shedeur Sanders. He's, of course, supposed to be, or he is listed as the third quarterback on the Cleveland Browns depth chart. But for whatever reason, we have now discovered that Shedeur Sanders is not running the Browns scout team. And in fact, he may not be getting any practice reps at all.
The headline alone is enough to jolt any football fan out of their seat. Browns refuse Shedeur Sanders scout team reps? Fans shocked. The news hits like a blindside tackle, shaking up the NFL rumor mill with the force of a Myles Garrett helmet swing. How could a team desperate for quarterback stability allegedly sideline one of the most talked about young prospects? The move doesn't just confuse fans, it sparks outrage, debate, and theories that make draft day drama look tame.
The information is that Shedeur is being mistreated, but that's something we already know. See, what is more fascinating about this is that, right before I got, hold to this information, somebody wrote in the comments, somebody said, John, you know what? Why do they even got Bailey Zappe on the team getting more, offensive reps than Shedeur?
The Cleveland Browns are no strangers to quarterback chaos. Their franchise history reads like a never-ending carousel of signal callers, each brought in as the supposed savior, only to be discarded when the experiment inevitably failed. Yet, here comes Shedeur Sanders, son of the legendary Deion Primetime Sanders, stepping into the NFL spotlight with swagger, numbers, and name recognition that scream marketability. He's not just another rookie hopeful, he's a headline factory. And now reports swirl that the Browns won't even give him scout team reps.
Now, what I've got to wonder at this point is, why is he on the squad? Who's running the show? Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, Jimmy Haslam? Because I've told you guys, I did not think he would get cut, because I don't think Jimmy Haslam will allow him to get cut.
For those outside the trenches, scout team reps might sound trivial, but for rookies, they're gold. Opportunities to run plays, face the first-team defense, and prove you belong in the big leagues. Denying those reps isn't just a coaching decision, it's a public statement. It's like being told you can sit at the table but not touch the food. Fans see that and wonder if the Browns are sabotaging their own potential future.
Why is there an agenda getting pushed for Bailey Zappe to possibly get moved up to QB3, and Shedeur Sanders literally sits at practice and stands there. Guys, when have we ever remotely seen anything of this nature take place in the NFL?
The reaction online has been volcanic. Social media lit up with hashtags blasting the organization. Memes popped up showing Sanders throwing darts while the Browns coaching staff stares into the abyss, clueless. Cleveland fans, long accustomed to frustration, feel like the front office is once again fumbling the ball before the game even begins. One fan wrote that the Browns are allergic to success, while another said they'd rather see Sanders running plays than half the veterans eating up snaps.
I'm hearing Shedeur is not even running scout team. He's literally watching everyone play. Bailey Zappe's running scout team. I don't know if that's true. That's what I'm hearing. Why is he on the team? Why is he even here? If that's what you think about, because his jersey is selling, the Haslams don't need jersey money.
What makes this situation spicier is Shedeur's pedigree. He isn't just some late-round flyer nobody knows about. At Colorado, under the flashy guidance of his father, Shedeur put up video game stats, showed poise in the pocket, and proved he can handle media pressure as well as defensive blitzes. He's polished, he's confident, and he carries the Sanders brand, a brand that attracts cameras, fans, and ticket sales. For the Browns, a team often starved for national relevance, that should be a dream come true. Instead, the optics now look like a self-inflicted nightmare.
Diana Rossini of The Athletic put out a report this weekend that she said Cleveland believes in Joe Flacco's experience and Dylan Gabriel's ability to back him up. Andrew Berry still thinks there's a place for Shedeur on this roster, but his chances of seeing regular season action in 2025 are unlikely. You can see on the left there in the picture, and I'll read you the full quote, unless things get really weird.
Cleveland's coaching staff reportedly insists this is about development and sticking to the plan. They claim Sanders needs to earn his way up, which sounds fine on paper, But critics argue that shutting him out of scout reps doesn't teach him, it buries him. In a league where speed of adjustment separates success stories from forgotten names, keeping a rookie quarterback idle feels like malpractice.
The Shedeur Sanders hate is getting unreal. Shedeur literally was labeled inactive, and he still is a headline.
The Browns, they didn't let him go against the ones the whole time in training camp. There has to be a reason for this.
Meanwhile, the comparisons flood in. Other young quarterbacks are getting plenty of looks around the league. J.J. McCarthy, Caleb Williams, Drake May, these guys are being groomed with opportunities to prove themselves even against tough first-team defenses. For Sanders, the denial makes it seem personal, like someone in the building wants to make an example out of him. Fans are already speculating whether it's ego, fear of distraction, or just classic Browns dysfunction at play.
Then why is he on the team if he's not even running scout team? Which
He's
I don't
a
know.
developmental project, Riz.
I'd love to ask him. Now today is Stefanski's day to cop out, which I love.
Yes,
he's
he
smart.
gives the coordinator.
So smart.
Yeah.
Somebody better ask Tommy Rees whether Shedeur's running scout team. Because I heard he's not.
And let's not pretend Shedeur's personality doesn't play a role. He's outspoken, media savvy, and never afraid to flex confidence. To some old-school NFL minds, that can be intimidating. They want rookies to be silent, humble, invisible. Sanders walks in with diamond chains and a social media following bigger than some franchises, and suddenly the whispers start. Could it be that the Browns are more worried about controlling the narrative than developing a quarterback? The backlash doesn't stop with fans. Analysts across sports talk shows are piling on. Some call it a wasted opportunity. Others flat out accuse Cleveland of repeating the same mistakes that have doomed them for decades. The consensus is clear. You don't draft a guy like Shedeur Sanders or even bring him into camp, just to let him rot on the sidelines while journeymen eat up practice time.
If Zach Jackson and him and everybody else that we talked to have said that Shedeur looks good, he looks really good. He looks better. And we got Zach that say Dylan Gabriel ain't even an NFL quarterback.
That's true.
So how is it that this man can't get a rep with the ones, but that non-NFL quarterback can?
We all
what
agree with
sense
that.
does that
Yes.
make?
It makes no sense.
Clearly, the guys running the team disagree with us.
But here's where the plot thickens. Some insiders claim the Browns may have a hidden strategy. By holding Sanders back now, they could be planning a dramatic midseason reveal, a hype-fueled rollout that gets the fan base buzzing when things start to slide. Think about it. Cleveland loves a comeback story, and nothing would energize the dog pound like seeing Shedeur unleashed after weeks of speculation. It's a risky play, though. In today's NFL, fans aren't patient, and neither are media cycles. If the Browns lose while Sanders is stuck waiting, the criticism will turn nuclear.
The story here is T. Rizzo and how he rides for Shedeur Sanders. And once again, Rizzo is always asking the questions, what the freak we got going on? Why is this young man still here? What do you have him here for if you're not going to use him? If you're not going to help him progress into becoming a great quarterback? If you're not going to get him moving up into the level of being better than he is, because we know that Joe Flacco is not the future.
Another angle worth noting is the locker room dynamic. Giving Sanders reps means taking them away from veterans fighting for jobs. Could it be that the staff doesn't want to stir up resentment among the team? If so, they're walking a thin line. Protecting locker room harmony at the cost of player development might sound noble, but it rarely pays off. If Sanders truly is the future, veterans will have to deal with it eventually. Why delay the inevitable? The situation has even sparked debates about Deion Sanders himself. Coach Prime is a larger-than-life figure in football, and his shadow looms over his son's career. Some speculate that the Browns fear the circus Prime brings wherever he goes. Media frenzy, cameras, constant questions. It's part of the Sanders brand. Maybe Cleveland doesn't want that storm hovering over their already fragile roster. But by trying to dodge attention, they've actually invited more of it. Now everyone is talking about the Browns again, and not in a flattering way.
Word is, they not even giving Shedeur reps. The man not working scout team. I told y'all when they brought Bailey in, anybody that's been on Kevin's squad, Anybody that he could say, hey, he knows the offense better than him. Anybody. It's pretty much a wrap, y'all. I don't know what Cleveland got going on.
At the heart of it, this is classic Cleveland drama. A team that can't help but trip over its own feet, even when the path looks clear. They could have embraced Sanders, hyped him up, and given fans a reason to believe in the future. Instead, they've turned what should be an exciting chapter into a controversial subplot. It's the kind of decision that divides locker rooms, alienates fans, and feeds the endless narrative that the Browns will always be their own worst enemy. Still, the story isn't finished. Training camp is long, preseason games will unfold, and the NFL season has a way of testing every plan.
Shedeur is not even getting any team reps, like at all. ESPN Cleveland's Tony Rizzo claimed that Sanders isn't even running the scout team. He's literally watching everyone. Instead, Bailey Zappi on the Cleveland Browns practice squad is reportedly doing the scout team work.
Injuries happen, quarterbacks struggle, and suddenly the guy you sidelined becomes the guy you need. For all we know, Sanders could go from forgotten rookie to fan favorite starter in the blink of an eye. The question is whether the Browns will recognize the opportunity before it's too late. For now, though, the verdict is simple. Fans are baffled, analysts are scathing, and the Browns once again find themselves in the middle of a storm of their own making. Shedeur Sanders deserves his shot, and until he gets it, this controversy isn't going away. Cleveland might think they're keeping control, but in reality, they've lost it. The spotlight is burning hotter than ever, and all eyes are waiting to see if they finally break the cycle or fumble yet another chance.